No one told me that was gonna be this way. Welcome to the Two Doodz.
That was successful.
Yeah, it was very successful. My name is Chris.
I am Nathan. We're here with our two friends again. Your name, please.
I am John.
Your name?
Lynn.
Thank you very much.
And just so that you know, we're not recording 2 episodes in one night. We are recording 2 episodes in one night.
Actually, in one morning.
The first one wasn't very convincing.
It's because we love you all so much.
We do love you all so much.
We're just like, all 10 German viewers are going to love this episode.
They don't even know what we're saying. They just like the sound of someone talking.
They're just like, Wieder Hagen, Flugen, Siegen, and while they're jerking off on Chat Randy.
Speaking of the word alls, you know how we always say alls?
No.
You've never, if you say in a sentence, like...
Alls you want to do.
Yeah.
All you want to do, that's what I say.
But a lot of people say alls.
Okay. Well, I don't say that, but go on.
I don't count black people as people that
I say
conversations.
They like to ask you a question.
No, you guys probably say it all the time within whatever context.
Okay, well, anyways.
Yeah, you were saying?
I got commented on that on the other day.
What, like someone said that you were saying it wrong?
Yeah.
Oh.
Blew my mind.
Well, okay, I guess we... that was off topic. We're going to talk about...
There was a topic?
Because me and Nathan have talked about our favorite bands of all time.
You can hear me literally kissing the asses of everyone in Dream Theater.
Yes. You can hear me talking about... I don't even think I mentioned it because I got distracted. If I did, I don't know. Lynn, we'll start with you because we know you like to talk about music and video games.
Oh, yeah.
We'll start with you. What is your favorite band of all time?
You know, I'm really stuck between 2 bands.
Which would be?
That's cool.
System of a Down and Nirvana.
Oh. I love System of a Down, but Nirvana, many people might hate me for this, but I honestly do not like Nirvana all that much.
You know, and I completely understand that because every time I listen to Nirvana, me and John had this conversation earlier. We were listening. I wanted to turn up a Nirvana song in his car, and he just didn't want it. Nirvana just makes me feel great. Like
it gives you an uplift.
Yeah, like even though their words are so depressing and stuff, it's grunge. I mean, that's what it is.
I honestly feel like it's mostly the death factor. Like
I
John
understand.
Lennon. People fucking love John Lennon because he was, quote, assassinated. But...
Well, before that, people like John Lennon. I know, because John just did a pullback. People love John Lennon, but there are also the people who jump on bandwagons of people who died early on in their career.
I'm just baffled at how he was, quote, assassinated.
People call him he was assassinated, and then Dimebag Daryl of Pantera was murdered.
Oh, the wording.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
It's like he wasn't really a political figure. It was just like he was just a musician.
Yeah.
Okay. Being a huge fan of both of these musicians, they were both assassinated, in my opinion, by deranged individuals who probably should not have been living in the first place.
What constitutes for you guys assassinated and murdered? What's the difference?
Martin Luther King, assassinated.
No, but not people who are assassinated.
What qualifies what is assassinated? What qualifies what?
Actually, you know what? I'm going to take that back because John, based on my definition of assassination that I just figured out, John Lennon was assassinated and Dimebag Daryl was murdered, and I have a good reason for this.
Okay.
When John Lennon was assassinated, John Lennon was the only one who died. When Dimebag was murdered, he was not the only one who died. Many people were injured in this attack. Multiple people died in this attack, and Dimebag Daryl happened to be one of them.
But he was the main target of the killer, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Was he?
It was him and Vinny. Those were the 2 that were the targets. Because the reason that he killed other people was because he was backed into a corner and shooting off.
Okay.
The reason he went to kill people was because Pantera broke up. He was so sad. he was so pissed off about it. I'm sure if he would have made it out of there alive, he was going to go for Phil and Rex next.
I'm sure if he would have killed Phil in the first place, it would have been okay. But okay, moving on.
Wasn't it because he thought some fucking famous celebrity was like subliminally through her songs making him think you need to kill these people? Like his love for some celebrity was like you need to kill
No, that was for John Lennon.
Was it?
It was Catcher in the Rye was for John Lennon.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of the Reagan assassination attempt.
Yep, there have been so many assassinations. I don't care.
No, okay. Just getting back on topic. What for you is the definition of assassination, and what for you is the definition of murder?
Assassination. I think it all has to do with celebrities. I think if it's someone well known, if there's political or like, it's such a blurred line.
Okay.
But I think celebrities have a lot to do with it. Having someone who's known is going to be an assassination, whereas having someone who's not well known is murder.
I would feel like Kim Kardashian would be murdered, whereas President Obama would be assassinated.
I think it all has to do with more of a political thing. I think assassination's only like really used for political.
And John Lennon
deaths.
did have a lot to do with politics.
Okay,
He was
well,
all sorts into
this
that.
is what I'm going to do. We're not going to know this now, but future Chris, put the definition of assassination on the screen right now.
Bong!
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, right there. You can see it. I'm going to outline it right now, draw an outline around. I don't think I can do that.
You won't. It'll be fucking Comic Sans.
Yeah, something.
Font and some shit.
Yeah, but I'm going to put it on the screen, and that's the definition of assassination. We don't know what it is, but we'll find out later.
Damn right we will.
So we were talking about Nirvana just makes you feel good, and that was because a lot of people like him because maybe he died. Is that what you were thinking, Nathan?
Yeah, my immediate thought was it was the death factor. You know, Kurt Cobain killed himself. Allegedly.
But it has nothing to do with their lyrics. Like, when I listen to them, I'm just talking the tone of their instruments. Just everything about it just makes me like... It's like one of those upbeat songs with depressing lyrics.
Wow, some of them.
Yeah, there's another thing, too, is that Kurt Cobain died in 93, and you were born in 95?
Yeah.
That's not going to affect her. She's going to like the music for the music, not because Kurt Cobain died 2 years before she was born.
That's not always the case, though, because I love Avenged Sevenfold, and when I heard the drummer, the Rev, died, I became more interested in their music and lyrics. And he was a major contributor. Well, not a major, but he contributed many lyrics and music ideals to it. And because I even plan on getting a tattoo sometime and having forever on my wrist because of this guy.
But
I don't look at it like that at all. Like,
actually, the Rev, one of the few drummers who actually hugely contributed to a band. Most of them are just like 4/4. I can only count to 4 and repeat. There we go.
Yeah, pretty much.
He could count to 4 and repeat, but his appendages moved in so many different ways, it would astound you.
I'm sure.
no, but I don't look at it like that. Like, the whole Kurt Cobain killing himself thing didn't...
Well, and I understand why you like Nirvana, and you can like it for whatever reason.
Jam out to them is what it is.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. You smell like Teen Spirit.
And that's the show for this week.
Well, thanks for listening to the Two Doodz.
Okay. No, and then my comments about System of a Down. I have been a huge fan. Waited for them to get off their hiatus so I could hear them.
And it was fucking great.
It was fantastic.
Does it piss you off that I got the tickets for that show for free?
Yes, it does actually. I thought it was just going to be me and John going to see it, and it turned out you guys were there, and I was just like, you know what? This just takes all the special out of it.
Well, we had shittier seats than you did.
Yeah, we had great seats, and the giant
inflatable cock,
and the giant inflatable cock that was going around.
There was an inflatable cock.
Yeah, and it said it for Cigarro.
Oh man,
my cock is much bigger than yours.
Funniest thing is, I didn't even get it until they started playing Cigarro.
I got it right away. Oh,
seeing Chavo sitting there with the microphone, just whacking it off. Best thing ever. Chavo is, oh my gosh,
her favorite bass player.
Oh my god, I love Chavo. Like, he is the music.
I think you like his personality more than you like his bass playing.
I like both.
I'd like to point out that he gave.
I I like his beard.
I'd like to point out that he gave the lead singer of Mastodon a brain hemorrhage
Really?
in a bar fight.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Shavo for the win.
Shavo fucked this guy up, and I've seen both of them live, and they were both really good.
They are.
I like his socks
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
When he
'cause
wears,
like the
he wears like
it
the knee
basketball
highs.
style.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wears like the knee highs and then rolls his pants up and then like wears capris. I love that.
So, John, what is your favorite band?
The Beatles.
Okay, so you
Speaking
like,
of John Lennon,
yeah. So you like the Beatles a lot. Why?
really, it has a lot to do with they were the first band I ever really got into. Growing up, it's what I listened to, and now just listening to them makes me feel good, makes me feel nostalgic, and pretty much any of their songs I can sing along to.
Do you think that if you listen, if the Beatles weren't a big thing when they were a big thing, if they came out like nowadays, do you think you would be interested in them?
That's hard to say because nowadays music is so different. Would they have come out the same way they did?
Probably not. And actually,
That's a very good
music
point.
wouldn't be the way it is today
Very
without
true.
them.
Exactly. They were rebellious of their time, and I think if they came out today, they would be rebellious for this time, which God only knows what that would be. 'Cause-
Wow.
yeah.
So I'm not a big fan of the Beatles, and it's probably because I didn't grow up listening to them. And listening to what they do now, their music is simple and catchy.
Yeah.
It's nothing. You're not going to listen to it and be like, "Wow, what the fuck did he do there?" You're going to listen to it and be like, "Oh, this is whatever it is," and I totally respect what they did, but I'm just not a fan of them. It goes back to the Pulp Fiction argument: are you an Elvis guy or a Beatles guy? And I go Elvis all the way.
And the Doctor Who argument: who sold the most albums, the Beatles or Elvis?
Yeah, I think was it the Beatles that ended up.
It was the Beatles.
Okay. That's just the more you know.
The more you know.
Rainbow
Yep.
on the screen.
We're calling back to episode 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you like the Beatles, but I know that you don't like the White Album, which is arguably one of the best albums. So why is that?
Every time I listen to the White Album, it's not the same Beatles that I grew up listening to. My first album was Sgt. Pepper's, and
Which is also arguably one of the best
that
albums.
is also
Yeah.
arguably one of the best albums ever made, and definitely one of the best by the Beatles. But that's what I grew up listening to, and the White Album was significantly different from that, and I was never a big fan of what came out on the White Album.
See, now, I like most of the songs that I like by the Beatles. Oh, shit! Most of the songs that I like by the Beatles.
Baby, baby, baby.
I'm going to go kill myself.
Most of the songs that I like by the Beatles are off the White Album. Well, actually, I can't even say that. I don't know what albums came off of which or what. Fuck, but I like Blackbird, and I start playing Blackbird, and you don't know what the fuck it is really shocking to me.
I gave up on the White Album. I got the White Album along with a lot of other albums. I got Let It Be, Abbey Road, and I got the White Album. I just could not sit through it. It was not an appealing album to me. And
Well, I recommend at least Blackbird because that's a fucking.
I do
good
like
song.
Blackbird.
Okay.
Blackbird's an okay song.
Okay, so yeah, it just shocked me, and I was like, okay, how do you not know what Blackbirds is, John? And then you're just like, I don't know. So
I was actually surprised. Like, you started playing it, and even I knew it. I'm not a huge Beatles fan,
yeah,
but I knew it. And he's like, what's that song?
yeah, I don't know. As you being one of the biggest fans of the Beatles that I know, it confused me. But the argument I could say is, I think Vinny for Pantera, bringing back Pantera that we just talked about, said that Dimebag went into his room for one summer, learned the entire White Album, and that's how he became the guitar player that he is today. What was then?
And that's bullshit because I'm a big fan of Dimebag Darrell, and I actually have a Pantera tattoo, and I love Pantera. But I have no doubt that he was a great guitarist because of the White Album. But it takes talent no matter what album you listen to and lock yourself in your room. If you're willing to lock yourself in your room for a summer and learn how to play something, you're going to become good at it.
Yeah. Well, really?
And it doesn't matter if it's the White Album or not.
Well, I gotta ask, what album is Maxwell Silverhammer off of? That is a great song. Oh, Mr. Beatles fan here. Doesn't
It's-
even know what album.
You've stumped him.
I believe it's off Abbey Road, but I want to be sure. So just give me one moment.
Yeah, that's all.
He's gonna Google it like a bitch.
No, I'm gonna go through my little.
Okay,
iPod
we'll be
thing.
back in 1 second when he comes back. Okay, we're back after like 3 seconds.
I was correct. It is off Abbey Road.
Okay.
Yeah, but as I was saying, that song, I don't know, like, it's not normal Beatles, and John explains it the best, but it's just like, it's just got such a...
It's an upbeat song about a kid going around killing people with a hammer.
It's very Pink Floyd.
Yeah, it's Pink Floyd without the depression.
Yeah, this song cracks me up, it really does.
So that's why you don't like the White Album,
Yeah,
because it's not the same as the other Beatles.
right.
Was it what order was that album in? Was that their last one? Was that
I don't know.
because if it was their last one, or maybe in the middle, they were trying to change their sound.
It's possible. I have no doubt to that.
Anyways, Nathan, did you say your favorite? We know that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Lynn, favorite band?
We
Oh,
already
you already
know
did that.
this.
Okay.
Wow.
Shit.
Mr. Drunky Butt
Shit.
over here.
Someone's been drinking.
Really?
I say while I slur through my words.
Did I ever say what my favorite
Nope.
band? Wow.
You might have one of the previous episodes.
You know, I don't know Nate's favorite band.
I would. You
You
know
don't?
mine?
No.
Well, it's because
No, that's his favorite band. You don't know what his is?
You said something about in the beginning.
Okay, just tell her what's your favorite band so she knows.
Dream Theater.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I remember your comment at the beginning saying something about a hard-on for Dream Theater.
It wasn't a hard on. I just kissed their asses.
Yeah, he does. It's not. I mean, I get what he's saying. It's just not for me. Like the same with the Beatles. I totally
Dream Theater was open for System of a Down, right?
no. They opened for Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew I saw them somewhere.
Another one of my favorite bands.
Yes. Mine. Fucking anyone who knows me is obvious as shit. Take a guess.
Metallica.
No.
Green Day.
Yes.
You know, that was my second guess.
Yeah.
You're his sister.
Yeah, but he talked about a hard-on for Metallica a few years ago.
It's hard to decide between the two.
That's how I am about Nirvana and System of a Down.
The thing is I like not Metallica. I like Green Day's newer albums more than I like Metallica's newer albums. Although
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Death Magnetic was a fucking great album, but the ones before that weren't as good.
Yeah. I'm a huge Green Day fan too myself because of this guy here.
But although I'm not as huge of a fan as I was, it goes all the way up to about American Idiot. I liked the production quality on American Idiot was fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
Rock operas, I don't really care so much.
Me and Chris can go on for hours about Green Day. Like,
Yeah. And hopefully, like System of a Down, my roommate can get me free tickets to go see Green Day. Because it's at the
I want to go again. You should definitely.
he only gets 2 tickets.
But
And he wants to see the opening act for it.
oh, that's gay.
Well, he's getting the free tickets. It's not like I can argue with him.
But I want to see Green Day.
Then buy tickets.
They're expensive.
Then get a job.
Yeah.
You only
Just
have to
do
buy
that.
a ticket.
Yeah.
Shh.
Yeah, because John here has this avid hatred for one of the best bands on the face of the earth.
Oh.
Aww.
What, Green
I
Day?
do not like Green Day.
I don't know why. I mean, you
Just
do like
accept
some of
them.
their songs.
Yeah,
He's
I've accepted them as a drummer who has to play them a lot, but
that kind of what I've learned to do with the Beatles. I used to really not like the Beatles, but I've learned to.
because you
Like 'em.
grew up with Chris.
But I don't know. I just like Green Day. It's a good old time for me. It's even though I only started liking them in junior high. That's when I knew who didn't know Time of Your Life and who didn't know When I Come Around and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you were into the other stuff like Basket Case and
Yeah, that's
Brain
what-
Stew.
Well, that's when that started is in junior high. And that's because my mom was just like one Christmas was just like, "Hey, here's
oh, that
Um,
was me.
it was you?"
That was me.
Okay. Well, it said from Santa or something like that. So,
That was me.
Awkward.
Yeah, so it was just...
Any CDs you got, that was me.
Any kids listening, Santa does exist, though. As much as the Easter Bunny.
Hey, any kids listening, you shouldn't be listening to this. We swear a
Yeah,
lot.
wait.
Easter Bunny or
Wait, why would you
Jesus?
even make that comment?
Because we say fuck a lot, and you don't care.
And we're drunk.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we okay.
Well, because it's on YouTube, and kids go on YouTube
Touche.
all the time.
I'll give you that one.
Okay.
So, sucketh the logiceth.
But yeah, I like Green Day a lot, so that's my favorite. We know all of our favorite bands now. That's a good old time. So
Oh, wait, we didn't hear why he likes Dream Theater.
oh,
I still want to hear why he likes them.
go ahead.
Oh, it's a long explanation, but I'll mainly just say they're all fucking awesome.
He likes the in depth that they go to with writing a song.
Okay.
That they end where they started. That they
That was mainly with Octavarium, yeah.
okay. That they count out shit. As for most bands, just go okay, and let's just write songs.
Like
okay.
Octavarium, the root word, the Latin root word or the Greek root word of Octavarium is oct, which is 8, and there's 8 songs in the album, and they all focus on ending where the thing begins. And the title song of the album Octavarium is 24 minutes long, 24 being how many hours are in a day. It's very cyclical, and it's very ending where it began, and that influences my writing to the point where it's like,
Where it becomes annoying.
No.
Only part that it becomes annoying is when you're like, hey, write lyrics. And then I'm like, okay. And I give you lyrics. And you're like, that doesn't match up with my timing. And I'm like, what? That's the only time it's annoying to me.
All I can say is I've seen Dream Theater live, and the only real interesting part I saw was the guitarist.
Yes!
Because that guy's fucking awesome.
So, moving forward, favorite songs of all time. Who knows offhand?
oh my,
No one knows
Good
offhand.
riddance.
getting so...
That's yours?
Well,
Favorite song of
there's
all time?
that.
Well, yeah, as I said,
was
even though
quick.
I'm a huge System of a Down fan and they mark one of my favorite bands and Nirvana marks one of my favorite bands, my song, it is my song, like, all the way. How's your drink there?
Strong.
Good Riddance is one of those songs, and it's almost directly because of Chris here, like, all the way.
That's a
That
good
song, he got me on that song.
And interesting, not by one of your top bands.
Yeah.
That's ironic. Although it's not, like, illegal to do that.
No,
but
it's not, but just interesting.
It's just... And another song that marks the top of my list is another band that I don't even really like, but I've learned to like, is Let It Be. That song just... I don't know. Just those two songs just sound amazing to me. And they're not... I'm a huge metalhead, and, like, those songs don't even qualify into metal.
Interesting. Let It Be as simple as shit, by the way, if you ever...
Yep.
I know, but it's just...
It's not. I'm not saying it's
just-
wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's simple.
Yeah,
Simple harmonies that sound really, really good together.
Yeah.
So, Nathan.
It's a tie between two Dream Theater songs. One of them
course.
is actually a song, and the other one is actually like a 6 or 7 part. Like it's a 42-minute song, but they split it up into different tracks. It's Octavarium and 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence, I think it is.
Well, the question here is what's favorite one? You have to put those. Those have to go into the boxing ring with each other.
Into
Which
the
one comes out
boxing ring?
victorious?
Which one? Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to need 2 best song reviews worth of time to think about that one.
Okay.
So, John, go.
I would have to say Fixin' a Hole by the Beatles,
Really?
which
I've
none of
never
you have
heard that.
ever heard.
No.
But it is a great song that is just... I don't know, it's trippy in some ways. It's very creative in some ways. I think it's a very colorful song, and it's just kind of... The lyrics of it are very beautiful, in my opinion.
Is it like there's a hole in my bucket?
No.
Dear Liza, dear Liza.
There's a hole in my bucket,
Dear Liza,
a hole.
A song that I could listen to over and over again? Shit, that's hard. Like, because there's a difference between like your favorite song at the moment and your favorite song of all time, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
I don't know. It comes down. I'm thinking of what I could listen to. Maybe you know what? I got it. It's fucking Black Dog by Led Zeppelin.
All time?
Of all time, I could listen to that song. Because a lot of Led Zeppelin songs, and this is why they're not my favorite band, but a lot of Led Zeppelin songs go for a big chunk, and then they have like a breakdown where it gets really weird in the middle.
Uh-huh.
And that's where it loses me. And then it comes back with an even better part at the end, but I just don't want to wait through that middle part, so usually I skip it. Black Dog does not have that little part. It just goes fucking straight through the song, and I love it. It's, I don't know, I love that song. I could listen to that song fucking, and that's as of right now, and I'm thinking that's my favorite song of all time, but again, being put on the spot because I'm trying to keep up with your all witty banter while trying to think of my favorite thing. So, Nathan, have you come up with an answer yet?
I have, and it's Octavarium.
Octavarium?
Octavarium, because there's just so much thought put into it. How the lyrics... I think there are 4 parts to that song. It's a 24-minute song, like I said before. But there's so many ideas in that song. The first part it's the introduction, and then it goes into this story about a man waking up from a coma, and the doctor's like, you've been asleep for 30 years now.
Okay.
And he goes back into the coma saying, you know what, no, sorry, that's the second part of the song. First part of I'm sorry.
No.
First part of the song is how a man was wishing he could become someone else, and then he becomes that someone else, and he's wishing he was the way he was before.
Okay.
Sort of intertwining with that, full circle thing.
Okay.
Then the second part is the waking up from the coma thing. And he goes back into the coma, and he forgives the doctor. He's like, don't worry, it's not your fault. It's just the way things are. It's the way things have to be. Then it goes into a part called Intervals, where they recall the older songs in the album. They recall the first song, Root of All Evil, and they recall the second song, Answer Lies Within, or whatever it is.
Okay.
And they go back, leading up to step by step, like every choice we make is some deciding our fate, trapped inside this octavarium. And the octavarium is like, there's no way the whole... It's endless. And it's very cyclical. There's no way that it will end. At the absolute end of the song, the guitarist, which you both so adore, plays the same note on his piano as the first note in the album. So the album loops over and over, endlessly creating that cycle. And to me, I think there's just so much thought in there, so much that they put into that album. It astounds me how they could just do all of that. Like many artists nowadays, their whole life is dedicated to creating this big thing. And in my honest opinion, Dream Theater could do it in just one album.
Huh.
And I was having that conversation with Lynn earlier about how albums don't mean anything anymore to a lot of bands, and how they're just a bunch of songs put together, whereas albums like that are telling a story. And I think my personal favorite album, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which is the album I made a reference to, is an album that just flows through the entire album. My favorite songs off that album, it's just like listening to the album all the way through is the only way to experience it, and I feel like Octavarium's a lot like that.
Yeah. And Chris and I have made an agreement that if when we get some acid, he will listen to Octavarium and I will listen to Stairway to Heaven.
From what you were saying about that, it kind of reminds me of Mariacha. Yeah, that one.
What?
Just the way it tells a story. I don't understand mariachi because I don't speak Spanish, but like...
Wait, what are you talking about?
Oh, mariachi bands?
Yeah. The way do you speak any Spanish?
Not fluently, no.
No, but
they all
tell a story, and it just reminds me of that. Like, I don't understand Spanish, but from what my friend Jennifer tells me, she was really going into detail about that, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah, like many bands nowadays, or even like artists themselves, like Justin Bieber would be like, "Oh, I love this girl so much, and I love you so much. Even if I were poor, we would be together." Or Nicki Minaj, who's like, "You a stupid hoe." It's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Now, there's a difference. Like, I don't... Because that's probably one of the reasons that pushed me back a little bit from the Dream Theater Octavarium thing, is that I think you can overthink things. So while I totally respect that they fucking put a lot of thought into it, I think there is a point where you go, whoa, okay, come on, man. Like, a song is supposed to be about passion, right?
Yeah.
And then if you overthink it, it becomes computer-like, where it's like, oh, it has to be like this, otherwise it doesn't match and we can't have it. Now, at the same time, I don't know, I haven't listened to the entire album of Octavarium, so I don't know if it found that fucking line drawn there, but I also get now, while I agree Justin Bieber did not fucking do this, he wrote it for whatever fucking stupid shit.
Baby, baby, oh.
If you write a song out of pure passion for a girl or something like that, or something like that, that's totally different than if you write a song out of trying to make money.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. I don't like that.
That's when you sell out.
It's almost insulting to just go, I need money. Fucking here. Yeah. There.
That's what
Just
rap is.
Buy it, yeah.
Like, I remember Gene Simmons in an interview talking about how he went to go see a live show and the band turned their backs to the audience and played their songs. He said it was like the biggest insult ever. If he wanted to actually listen to the band, he would buy the album rather than go see them live. I feel like there's a fine line between entertainment and the artist just selling out for money.
Yeah. And actually, I kind of get... Because I know Gene Simmons' story, and their songs themselves are not that great. Kiss's songs are not that great.
I mean, like, there's plenty catchy songs and plenty catchy parts to some other songs, but ultimately they're just a cash cow.
Yeah, and I get... While you probably shouldn't do it, the band that turned their back on them was trying to get the feeling that they wanted out to the audience.
Maybe.
Yeah,
They could
I mean, I could be completely wrong, but that's what Jim Morrison used to do when he first started. Before he got all drugged up, he couldn't sing because he didn't feel right singing to the audience. He felt better singing away from the audience.
And Mitch Hedberg, the comedian,
Yes.
wore those glasses so that he wouldn't see the crowd because he had such stage fright he could not handle just standing there talking to a crowd with glasses.
Mitch Hedberg is hilarious.
He's fucking great.
So I was playing this Flash game called One Chance.
I played that earlier this week.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, One Chance. It's a game. You literally get one chance. It says there's 7 days before every cell on Earth dies. You're the scientist that created this cure for cancer, and it turns out that the cure kills every cell ever. You have one chance to go through and and it gives you choices like, oh, do you want to go, do you want to talk and hang out with your family on the last 7 days of your life, or do you want to go to work and try to find a cure for it?
Or do you even want to just fucking party and
Party
drink
it up. Yeah. The thing is, since I've played it on my computer, I can't go play it again.
There's literally one chance. Earlier today, I went on my computer to show my little sister what the game was. It goes back to the same screen that you ended at.
Yes.
That's...
Literally, one chance.
Yes, and I chose to go to work every day until I cured it. And me and my daughter survived.
Seriously?
Yeah.
It ended with me at the park with my daughter because I worked every day until the last day, and I was like, I'm just going to spend my last day with my daughter.
If you bring your daughter to work, you cure it, and you end up at the same screen, but you survive.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Real talk with Chris and Nathan and 2 other people.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's fucked up like that. That was a lot of thought put into that game.
That game actually really was, it was touching. Did your wife commit suicide?
Yes.
Okay, I feel like that's an unavoidable event.
Did you walk into the bathroom with your daughter with her?
No.
I didn't either.
I walked in by myself.
I walked in by myself. It said the next day, and then the daughter was like, "Where's Mom?" And you walk by the bathroom, you see blood pouring out of the bathroom under the door.
And it's like all 8-bit.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking early video game style. Very retro.
That
Yeah.
sounds really neat.
Yeah.
It's a really actually surprising game how touching it is.
Yeah, and it's you only get one chance, and I like that it does that.
Yeah.
Oh, at the same time, I wish I could see the other endings.
Yeah. Like I was on StumbleUpon, and it went to like this list of like top 10 philosophical games.
Okay.
And there was one game that there was one chance on there, and there was another game where it was sort of 8-bit-ish, but also sort of like you would expect it on a gaming site.
Okay.
And the story was you would use your two you'd use move forward and move back on your arrow keys, and you would try to solve puzzles with that. Mm-hmm. But if you press space bar, you would have an exact replica of your last path go to wherever you did. I forgot what the name of it was, but at the end of the game it was like, and this person was in a mental hospital and was admitted there and was deemed a hazard to society. And it was so touching and so touching and moving to the point where I was like, this game is like kind of bringing me down, man.
So
What's that one game you played a while ago on your Xbox? It was that
Braid.
Braid.
Braid is a fantastic game.
That going back in the same path. That's just like Braid.
Yeah.
Braid's a great game.
Yeah. It's all about time manipulation.
Yeah, that's what this game was about. Yeah.
Was it? Okay. So maybe it was like sort of a similar idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Braid was
It's Flash Braid.
Flash Braid.
It was like Flash
Flash
braid.
braid.
It was like showing your flashes.
Oh, okay.
It was like
I
showing-
braided my nipple hairs.
You flashed your braid.
Oh God!
Ew, dude. I don't want to imagine
You just
that.
crossed the line.
So, what do y'all do in your free time?
Masturbate.
Okay.
And moving on.
Yes, John. What do you do in your free
I
time?
thought we already
About
did
the same
this.
thing. Go on.
About the same thing.
I play video games.
What game?
I am currently a fan of Guild Wars 2. It's the cheap version of WoW, and it's actually really fun.
Is WoW like BAM, like the band? Or like the jitterbug? Do the jitterbug? No.
No, not at all.
World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. I'm one of those kids.
No one laughed at my joke.
Yeah, I get. We all
I
get it. Enzo.
literally just laughed.
We get it.
You like giggled.
You get it,
I wanted
man.
like open mouth. Ha ha ha.
No, it wasn't that. It was,
It's
Your
okay.
expectations were too high.
It's okay. It's when you're drunk is when you think you're hilarious, but you're not. Continue. Guild Wars 2.
Guild Wars 2. I can't spend as much time on it as I did WoW. Like, I got totally addicted to WoW. And Guild Wars 2, it's got that same style WoW play, but it's I don't know, it's more adult friendly. I guess that's
in what
Like
terms?
their dicks and tits, or
No, there's like, instead of dealing with 8-year-olds running around being douchebags, you get, the average player age is like 26 years old.
Which is really weird because Guild Wars is the cheaper version of it, right?
Yeah, but it's not, it's like the hipster version.
Oh,
It's not mainstream. No, it's
You're a hipster.
Oh yeah,
Stone her!
hipsters. No, but it's just, I don't know. It's more. It's like Vanilla WoW.
Bless you? What was that?
It's like the original World of Warcraft before all the bullshit expansions.
Yeah.
I've never played that. I played Diablo 2 for maybe like a week, and then I was like, that's too much.
I'm not a big fan of MMOs, so
I like them. I really do.
I haven't had time for them in a long time.
MMOs is code for time sink. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's John's fault. He's the one who got me into them.
That's not true at all.
Yes, it is.
Not
yes,
true.
it is.
How?
Who got me into WoW?
You?
No.
How did I get you into it?
You were talking about it. And my cousin.
Okay. And then you started playing it, we're like, hey John, come play this game with me again, because you used to play it, and then I did. So, your fault.
No, you were the one who was talking about it.
domestic arguments.
Sorry
Yeah.
I talked
Here on
about
the
it.
Two Dudes.
Domestic argument, the Two Dudes version. John, what's your favorite game? Wait, are we doing favorite games?
We already did
We
this.
already did favorite
This
games.
is like
That's
the
what I
beginning
thought.
of the episode.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry.
Alcohol, our best friend.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I don't even remember.
We were just talking about my...
Yeah, your addiction.
Chris just wanted to bring it up to get my nerdiness out here.
Oh, like what? Okay, what games are you playing now?
Kingdoms of Amalur and Guild Wars 2 and a lot of random Flash games.
Okay, well, your opinion doesn't count because you're a woman. John,
But no, this whole thing started because what we were doing in our free time. And this is what I do in my free time. My opinion does count, so fuck you.
At least she does something besides masturbate.
Yeah.
she should be making sandwiches and shit.
Oh, God. That was delicious.
I'm offending all female viewers, all one of them.
Nate's getting castrated tonight.
Ew, that means you'd have to touch my dick.
Ew.
Yeah, so there's that.
John's gonna castrate Nate tonight.
Oh,
Why does John have to touch Nate's dick?
Because I don't want to.
Neither do I.
Why are all people here talking in third person?
Because it's fun.
Okay. John, what's your favorite, or not favorite, what do you do in your free time other than masturbate?
Other than masturbation, which is my main priority when I have free time, is
This is sad.
pretty much
What am I
just-
good for?
I don't know, just watch TV
Yep.
and
Sometimes
Netflix.
you have to...
A
you
lot
have
of
to-
Netflix because every time I go on Xbox Live, it says
that's not me though, that's my roommates.
they use your Netflix.
All the time.
Oh,
They
Watch Thanksgiving
watch
and
shitty
Birdemic.
great movie.
And all
No,
of
not at all.
Watch things like Strippers versus Zombies.
Whoa.
all on my mom's Netflix.
All
so
right,
she
well,
can see it.
That's a great movie, though. Let's not discount that.
No, it's an awful movie.
Yeah, I know. You were saying your free time.
I don't do anything with my free time because I have
Studies.
very little of it.
Studies
I
and works
sit
on
down
that Baja card.
and watch TV and sleep.
Well, that's awkward. So, Chris and I not exchanged, but we sort of had a bet of some sort where it's like he would watch Sherlock and I would watch Burn Notice.
Yes.
And since he told me to watch Burn Notice, I am almost to the end of season 3. I have become addicted to it. I try to watch maybe 3 episodes a day so that I won't spoil myself on it. So what I do in my free time other than masturbate is watch Burn Notice and play Far Cry 3.
Well, I find it harder to watch Sherlock because they're all hour-and-a-half episodes. It's like,
Really?
Yeah. Which they're great episodes. It's just it's hard to set aside an hour and a half
Yeah.
to watch
Not
one
for me.
episode of something. I mean, it's a really good show though. It really is. It's. I mean, I don't look at it as whatever the actor's name is. I look at it as if I was reading a Sherlock Holmes novel.
Yeah, and that's the best part to me is that Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss tried to stay as true to the novels as possible.
Except for, the whole time thing.
Yeah, except for being, cell phony and
Yeah.
Thought of another thing I do in my free time.
What's that?
Don't say masturbate, please.
Well, we're just not going to comment on that one, and we're going to say, I've been watching lots of anime lately.
No shocker there.
Chris just loves anime.
I used to like Dragon Ball Z, and that was as far as my anime.
I was watching Dragon Ball GT with Fluff.
But Dragon Ball GT was American written. It wasn't.
Well, that's just because he only has a DVD set of GT.
Dragon Ball Z was good. The only way I would watch Dragon Ball Z again is if I had it on a DVD set or if it was on Netflix, so I could just.
Fluff might have it.
Doesn't help.
He might let you borrow it.
Who the fuck is Fluff?
Fluffy.
No one knows who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the
You
hell?
know how I was talking about my 90-pound friend, Audrey?
Okay.
Her boyfriend's roommate.
As if that isn't convoluted enough.
He lives a block away from us.
It's like, oh yeah, my aunt's sister.
My
wait, that would make her also my aunt.
Sister's brother's former roommate, John.
All
Or
right,
some
Spaceballs.
Ironically enough, his name is John.
Shit. Shut up. I don't like animes.
I'm not a big fan
I
of
don't.
Okay, anyways, I just finished watching Blood, and now I'm watching Full Metal Alchemist, very mainstream anime. And loving it so far. And John doesn't seem to hate it that much, but I know he just loves anime too.
I've seen worse. Put it that way.
While he's masturbating.
Yeah.
I just like it's
You mean
not
hentai?
it's not the storylines that bother me of anime.
It's the unrealisticness because it's a cartoon.
No, it's the going, oh god, and like a 3-second thing of someone going, like I
funny.
hate that shit. It's not funny. It's not intended to be funny. It just is annoying.
Yes, it's intended to be funny.
Really, you think the Japanese are going, ha! He's at a 3-second thing of
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Everything in Japan's funny, whether they intend it to be or not.
No, I don't mean like a weird I mean like like of them
Like
being
a
shocked.
gasp?
Yeah. For 3 full fucking seconds.
If they do the clip too short, they don't get the full animation potential out of it.
Exactly. And it's more about the technology more than it is about the
It's
story.
Japan!
Yeah. That's why I don't like it. That's the whole point of what my whole conversation was. Why I don't like it.
This is brother-sister bickering.
So I'm gonna let you two bicker this out off microphone. Let's continue on with something else.
You could talk about Twilight. I know Chris just loves that.
So let's bicker
No one
about
else here
that
likes
off
Twilight.
microphone too. We'll talk about something else. I don't know. I was opening the discussion board here.
Favorite drink?
Oh boy, favorite drink.
Jaeger bombs. That's my favorite shot right there. Partial to those.
John,
Oh, you know.
anything that gets you drunk?
Pretty much. I do like the rum,
The rum?
Captain Morgan's. And I have actually been getting into Jack and Coke lately.
I thought we couldn't drink whiskey.
I used to not be able to, and then I kept going to the bars where I go to school and getting Jack and Coke, and I've started to like it.
They had a nice experience with whiskey.
Oh, not a nice experience.
Yes, that was interesting.
This is when we first started drinking.
Care to explain
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole thing?
We first. This was when we were like seniors in high school. We first started drinking, and we decided we had been drinking whatever for a little while, whatever we could get our hands on, and then we actually had the opportunity to get something different that we could choose, and it was whiskey.
Yeah?
Well, if you're going to drink a lot, don't do that. And we take shots of it alone first, and we're like, oh, this isn't that bad. Little did we know, which always leads off to a great thing, little did we know, it fucking catches up to you really quickly. So John ends up puking in the sink of his house, the kitchen sink nonetheless.
Done that at our house too.
Oh, God. Why?
Oh, shit happens.
Yeah, puking in the sink. The next day, I have to go to work. He has to make a car ride 5 hours away.
Yep.
With me
And-
in the car.
Yeah,
And my mom.
yes, and it was not very fun. I mean, I felt like I was going to throw up at work all day.
And I was sneaking him Tums throughout the entire car ride.
Oh, yeah. And the next time we tried to drink Jack Daniels, we tried to finish off our bottle, and we took 2 shots and pretty much felt like we were going to puke.
Yeah.
Minus the feeling of puking right when we started smelling it.
Yeah. Yeah, the smell of it just killed us. And thus...
Just like the cinnamon schnapps.
Oh, fuck
Oh,
cinnamon
God
schnapps.
damn it.
Not only that, cinnamon schnapps, and then cinnamon toothpaste to brush our teeth afterwards.
And cinnamon gum.
Oh!
Oh,
And fuck you.
Yeah.
Every cinnamony night.
Yeah, not the funnest experiences that we've ever had.
Funny how I remember these stories better than you guys.
No, we remember, we just choose not to bring them up.
Yeah.
It's not exactly the most prideful moment of my life. So, Chris, what is your favorite drink? I can take a wild guess at this one.
Oh, I wonder. It's only what I've been drinking on every Two Doodz so far. White Russians. Love White Russians.
It's what he's drinking right now.
Yeah.
Inspired by the Big Lebowski.
The
and
Big Lebowski.
awesome.
a wonderful Coen Brothers movie.
Indeed.
If you like Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, or Steve Buscemi, I highly recommend it.
Yep.
Oh, and I know Nate's favorite drink. Jameson.
That's
God.
actually not true. Yeah.
What is
Oh,
your
well-
favorite drink?
My favorite drink, Chris and I discussed this on an earlier episode. I really like Long Island iced teas.
I've never
course.
tried that, and I really want to.
There's so many different alcohols in there, and then you get the iced tea flavoring, like where I work.
Oh, that means you would love it.
Yeah.
Where I work, the woman at the bar mixes them so strong. By the time you finish, like maybe 1.5 or 2, you're like, whoa!
Just got
Holy
slapped with drunk.
shit. She is a fantastic bartender, but I recommend drinking it. I don't go into like a biker bar and be like, "I'll have a Long Island iced tea." But I mean,
As you're being thrown out and shot.
yeah, it's got the flavor of iced tea, but it also has the kick of all the alcohol in it.
I don't like that kick.
So everyone's talked about their favorite drinks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
We got
our favorite
Jaeger
drinks.
bombs. We got anything.
Pretty much? Oh, no,
Yeah.
Jack and Coke.
Slash
is what
Jack
you
and
like.
Yeah, I've
Coke.
been getting
Yeah.
into Jack and Coke.
White
lately.
Russians and Long Island iced tea. So if you feel like sending us liquor, please don't.
Yeah.
Enough to
Because-
make all of those.
Because actually, if you want to send liquor, don't, because we are scared of anthrax.
Yeah, I don't want anthrax. I like life.
Yeah.
Between booze and life, I choose life.
I'm gonna have to agree.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
a general consensus.
Yeah.
Unless you like get wasted and then die,
Yeah.
then that might be a different situation. Regardless, though, life trumps death.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's,
I think most people feel that way.
yep.
Most people,
I said most people.
except for the victims of the Holocaust.
No, I think.
Why did you just go
I think
there?
they like life, like not Holocaust,
Yeah.
like not death.
Shut
Yeah.
up, I'm drunk.
Yeah, he is drunk.
He is very drunk.
He's
Um,
slurring. He's been slurring for a long time.
If there are any Jewish listeners out there, I'm sorry. Have a drink on me, l'chaim.
If
Oh.
we have other listeners, as in any, good
Yeah.
job.
Yay! So, I'm assuming that all of us listen to podcasts except for Lynn.
I listen to him.
Okay, so what's your favorite podcast?
Oh, my favorite podcast would have to be Hollywood Babylon.
Hollywood Babylon? A Smodcast.
A Smodcast.
Yes.
It's Hollywood Babylon with Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman, and sometimes guests.
Like John Lovitz.
Like
Like
John
John Lovitz.
Yeah. I love John Lovitz impersonation.
Wow, that's weird.
I am surprised I got that sentence out.
Yeah, Hollywood Babylon. That's, I mean, I like it, but I go for the original Smodcast over that because I love the little quips Just the little things Scott Mosier adds to it. Just the little bit. It makes it so much better. And I also like Reckless Media Radio. After driving 12 hours listening to pretty much strictly Reckless Media Radio because of Dan, I ended up liking it. And it's entertaining.
And I think mine and John's opinion on this one is the same.
Which is?
Jay and Silent Bob Get Old.
Indeed it is.
Jay and Silent Bob Get Old. So we just are a consensus of Smodcast television. Hey, Kevin Smith, if you want to come on the Two Doodz, just send us a message. Just have C-Smod send us a message. Sit? Yeah.
Just send us emails, send us a message on YouTube, send us a fucking carrier pigeon if you have to.
We'll respond to that right away.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Carrier pigeon.
Yes. And we'll come on, or you can come on our show. You can just come sit in our garage. Fuck it, smoke a joint in here. We'll be happy.
Just as long as you pass it around.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
I'd smoke a joint with Kevin Smith. Oh my god.
Who wouldn't?
Indeed.
I think that's pretty much wrapping up our show, though. I had a great time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't really even remember much we talked about.
Which means this is going to be really fun for you to listen.
What a great way to end the episode, ass.
It's going to be a great time listening to this again. And please, everyone on YouTube, because we can only release it on YouTube, I wish we could release it on other sources, but unfortunately we can't. John just has the greatest look on his face, plugging his nose and laughing. Please, though...
And I have to live with this.
Please rate our videos, comment on our videos, subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe is a major thing.
Hell, I'll subscribe.
Yeah. Fucking...
Whoa, you haven't subscribed yet, and you're on the show.
You know,
How dare
never
you, sir?
listen to it until this show.
Well, you will now.
Well, obviously.
Thank you all for listening. We are the Two Doodz. My name is Chris.
My name is Nathan.
I'm John.
And Lynn.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
Balls.